Hi, I'm Sandra, the creator at Sing, Play, Create, and today I am sharing 5 different things you can do with one cute and easy to learn fall song. This song is called It's Fall and it is a free resource. It's on my Sing, Play, Create YouTube channel and it's also a free download if you go to our website. I'm going to play it for you on the ukulele. Of course you can use the background tracks and have the kids sing along to that. This is how it goes. The fallen leaves are blowing up the trees. They're piling high right up to my knees. I'd rake them up, but they make me sneeze. So now there's leaves all over me. It's fall, it's fall. The time when everyone throws a football. There's fun for all. Aren't you glad it's fall? So one way you can use this song is, of course, to use it as a ukulele music lesson. The chords in the song are C, F, and G7. When I teach the song to ukulele students, I'll just have them play on the steady beat as they sing the song. Before I have them learn a strum pattern. Once they can sing and play on a steady beat, then we can add in that strum pattern and hopefully they'll be able to sing and play along and strum at the same time. If you're using ukulele in your classes with younger students like I did in 3rd grade, I had them split into 2 groups. One group would sing the song and the other group would practice playing. Then we would switch. Everyone would have a ukulele. And I had them store them in their boxes because I had a cupboard that was big enough for them to put back in their ukulele box. And I had a system where they could take it out of the box and then I would have them lay their ukulele babies, what we called it because they're holding it in the cradle of their arm, their ukulele baby, and just put it on top of their box. And then it was easy for them to sing the song while the other group played the chords. So that's just one way you can use this song, by playing it on the ukulele. So here's how the actions go. So the falling leaves are blowing off the trees. They're piling high and I go all the way down to the floor, up to my, and then pat my knees and freeze right there, up to my knees. And then grab a rake. I'd rake them up, but they make me sneeze. Achoo! So now there's leaves and I throw them up all over me. And then it's fall, the time when everyone throws a football. There's fun, or fun, you could come up with a different way to do fun, for all. Aren't you glad it's fall? Those are some actions that you can use in your classroom. Your preschool, kinder, and 1st graders are going to love doing the actions. You can spend a whole class time learning just the actions, and then the next time you can have them perform for each other. This is a great performance opportunity you can use in your classroom. Let's split the class in half. We're talking kinder and 1st grade here, and we're going to have half the class play the steady beat. You might want shakers for the steady beat instead of drums, and they could shake and do the steady beat, and then the other half of the class is going to sing for them and do the actions. So what I've done, if your students are in rows, I divide those rows all in half and I just have them face each other. So they don't have to get up and move. It's just, I have 5 rows, I split them in half here, and I just have them turn and face each other and they can slide a little bit as needed. And then I pass out shakers to this side stands up, they do the actions, and then this side hands them the shakers, then the other side will perform, while this side then plays the beat on the shakers or the drum. Another way to use this song is to help your kindergartners and 1st graders learn beat. So you can have them sing along to the accompaniment tracks, and then they can sing the song, and then they can play the steady beat, and just have them pat the beat. After we play the steady beat on our knees, or we march around the circle to feel the steady beat, then we can bring in an instrument and they can play the drum beat as they sing the song. Again, if you find that you're dealing with your younger students and they can't sing and play the beat at the same time, and let's say you want to use this as an assessment for steady beat or just do a check-in on how everybody's doing. Again, divide the class in half and have half sing the song and pretend to have the leaves blowing around and down on their knees and raking and sneezing with the actions, and the other half of the class can be playing the drum beat. Then you can have them switch their parts. It's a great way to make the lesson a little more meaningful. It takes a little longer, but the students get a chance to really absorb the material and internalize and hear with their inner ears. So they're hearing when they're playing, but then they're also hearing when they're singing. They're hearing the drum beat. So you're giving them lots of opportunities to experience the steady beat. If you want to use a song for a little bit older grades, maybe your first and second graders, even third graders, you could add in a rhythmic ostinato to this song and have the steady beat going at the same time. I was thinking that the rhythmic ostinato, ta, ti, ti, ta, ta, would work really well with this song. And then you could use that one, and then as an extension activity after students have experienced playing the beat, playing the rhythm, and then putting it together, then you could have them create their own ostinatos in small groups using a variety of leafy sounding instruments like wood blocks or shakers or gyros, something that has a rustling or shaking sound. So that would be a really fun activity you could do with your third graders and have a little improvisation going on there with the instruments and them creating their own ostinati. That kind of activity could actually take 2 or 3 class times if you wanted it to. The first time you might teach the song. The second time you might bring in the steady beat and have them split into 2 groups, one doing actions and one doing the steady beat. And then the third class time you could bring in the rhythmic ostinato and add in the beat and the actions. Then really focus on the beat and the rhythmic ostinato as they're trying to sing and play at the same time. If they're struggling to sing and play the ostinato at the same time, go ahead and break the class into 3 different groups and then just have them rotate through each activity. This is a step between whole class activity and centers. So actually you're dividing the class into 3 groups. Let's say there's 30 children, so there's 10 in each group. But they're actually all working together to make music. This is a good pre-centers activity because later you could take rhythm cards and put them in a center with some of those leafy sounding instruments, and then they would know what they're supposed to do to the music. Another center would be playing the beat, and you could have some drums there for that group, and another center could be singing and doing the actions. You could have the music playing and each group could be doing their own activity. Then you could stop the song and then they could switch groups. This is an easy type of activity that helps them learn to be independent learners. It also breaks them into groups, which helps with classroom management. And it adds a lot of variety and teaching and learning opportunities for your students. It would be very easy then to put them in groups of perhaps 5 students, 4 to 6, and then they would work as an ensemble doing all 3 things in one group. So if you had 6 students in a group, then 2 could sing, 2 could play the ostinato, and 2 could play the beat. That would be taking it up another level. You would have them work independently in their small groups without the music playing, because at this point most likely they can sing the song without any help, and then you could go to each of these groups, because you'll probably only have 4, maybe 5 of these groups, but 4 definitely in your classroom, that you can walk around and then you can really help them and see where they struggle and offer suggestions and guide them. After you've had them work in those kind of small groups, then you can have those groups say, okay, now it's time for you to create your own leafy ostinato. Leafy meaning the fall leaves. So they're going to create their own ostinatos. You could even use a rhythm sheet. I have some of those as a free download, but you know, you could have them go up to the board and draw a line with another line, and then have them write their rhythm for their group, and then have everybody play their ostinatos from their groups. They could perform it, they could play it. This type of activity can really help your students learn the concepts, but also how music is made, how it's put together, and also how they can create something of their own. So this is why I like this kind of activity, so I hope that's something that works for you. I would absolutely love to hear how you've used this activity in your classroom or how you've structured some improvisation activities. I'm really hoping we can get some comments and sharing of ideas so that other teachers can see the things you're doing in your classroom to help your students get to the improvisation stage using a song in your classroom. Another type of activity you can do with the younger students, because they're not going to be able to create the rhythms, is you could just get out some instruments like shakers and drums and wood blocks and a gyro and whatever you have in your classroom. Sand blocks are really good too for this. So you're going to get those out and you're going to put them in front of you, and you could play them while they're listening while you sing the song, and you could play them. And then you can talk about the sound of the leaves. You could have them experiment with some of the sounds while they're listening to the song, so you could sing it or play the recording and just have them all play an instrument. Say, let's pretend that everyone is a leaf off the tree. Here I am, I'm the big tree, and you're all the little leaves, and I'm going to give you an instrument, and while I sing the song, I want you to make some leaf sounds for me, a couple times through to give everybody a chance to do it. Then you could have them trade instruments and then do it again. You could extend this activity for, about 10 minutes. If you want to give the children an experience of playing a variety of instruments and making the leafy sounds. I find that it's important not to rush through things too quickly. I know our young students have short attention spans, but you can change the activity without necessarily changing the song. So we're using this one song, but we're going to do beat, and we're going to do actions, and then we're going to do some instruments with it in a lesson. And that's going to be our main lesson activity. So we've sang, we've done hand actions, I had them play the beat, and then I got out a whole bunch of instruments that sound like leaves, and then we're going to do some experimenting and listening and feeling and talking about the fall and what it sounds like. The last activity, of course, is a scarf activity. So after we've done instruments, it would be a great time to bring out a scarf. And they can pretend that the scarves are the leaves. And the first time you do it, you might want to just have them stand where they are. But there's some specific actions you can do, or you could just play the music and let them pretend to be the falling leaves and see what they do. In second and third grades, I usually do that option. I will just play the music and say, show me what you hear, show me what you feel, show me the story of the song. Because they've sang it, they've played the beat, they've played the rhythmic ostinato, or they've done the instrument experiment, and then they are ready to do something with it. And even if you don't do that all in the same class time, you can bring up the song and the actions and the ostinato or the rhythm instrument activity and then do the scarves the next time. That would be okay too. So our scarf is a leaf on the tree, and what happens when the leaves fall down? The falling leaves are blowing in the breeze, and then have them go all the way down to their toes. They're piling up high to my knees, and then have them stop on their knees. And then have them rake, and if they can, they could grab the scarf like this, rake them up, but they make me sneeze, achoo, and just have them hold it still. And now and then they could throw it, leaves all over me. And then they could grab it, it's fall, the time when everyone throws a football, it's fun for all. Aren't you glad it's, and then I have toss and catch, or toss and drop to the ground. It's fall. So with the younger students, I probably would teach them some actions, but like I said, with those third graders, second and third graders, I would have them show me and create their own actions. If your students work really well in groups, this would be a great time to divide them and have them create something with their scarves. One of them might end up being the tree and stand there while the other ones dance around the tree to the actions. I love doing that kind of activity. I love seeing the students' creativity. It really brings it out in them, and I find that it is just the most joyful thing in the music room to see the students really internalizing the whole feel of the song and then expressing it through movement. I hope you'll drop a comment about how you've used this activity with scarves. It would be really fun to hear how it goes for you and maybe how you differentiated across the different grade levels with your scarf activity. The next couple of activities that I want to share really quick with you are products that I have in the TPT store that you can get. We have Fall Would You Rather Rhythm Game.
Would you rather rake or jump?
We have a fall scarf activity. We have fall rhythm activities. We have fall steady beat and rhythm activities. Different than the regular rhythms, this one is where you would actually be printing. There's worksheets, there's flashcards that students would be using in a whole bunch of games that come with the resource. I also have the song Fall Is Here, which is a traditional Kodai song. This song, It's Fall, is a free resource in the Sing Play Create free resource library if you want to go get it. The song video is also on the Sing Play Create YouTube channel. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was worthwhile for you. Let's keep kids moving and learning with music.